everyone. Here in this module we are going to see the questions based on trigonometric identities. Normally trigonometric identities were given in this previous lecture. They are, as it is in previous class also you have seen them, but few identities are there which are derived from the basic identities and are directly used. I will discuss them here first, then only we will go ahead. First of them I would like to discuss is 1 plus sine 2 theta. Whenever 1 plus sine 2 theta is given, then how can we simplify, how can we use this identity? As we know that 1 is equal to sine square theta plus cos square theta. So this 1 can be replaced by this identity, and plus sine 2 theta also can be written as 2 sine theta cos theta. That's why it looks like a square, b square and 2ab. So we can write this as sine theta plus cos theta whole square. Yes, whenever we are given 1 plus sine 2 theta, this can be written as sine theta plus cos theta whole square directly. Okay, not only this, when we are given 1 plus sine theta, here this 2 is absent. So this can be written as submultiple of the angle means theta by 2 and theta by 2 whole square. Pattern remains as it is, only change in theta. Okay, now this is the generalization of identity. Here as we were given 1 plus sine theta, so that's why we are having the sum of these two whole square. Also, if we are given 1 minus sine 2 theta, so this can be written as sine theta minus cos theta whole square. If it is only theta, so obviously this will turn as theta by 2 in both of the terms. So this identity can be used directly. More are there. With the help of cos theta identities, 1 plus cos 2 theta, this is directly used as 2 cos square theta. Or if I take 1 plus cos theta, so this will be taken as 2 cos square theta by 2. But one thing, here if I write square root 1 plus cos 2 theta and the condition is given to us, we are given the condition that theta lies between minus pi by 4 and pi by 4. Now let's see how to use this identity with the condition. These forms I have written in general, but this identity we have to check according to condition. I will explain. As I said, 1 plus cos 2 theta, this is equal to 2 cos square theta. We will put the value. In general, we take square root. This 2 can be separated as root 2, but this cos square root will be written as, now we know this may be positive and negative both, so this is opened as cos theta. Yes, square is removed, but this will be mod cos theta. Whenever you are given a condition with angle, then we need to open with mod only. Why? Because depends on the angle, this cos will be negative or positive. As now we are given theta belongs to minus pi by 4 and pi by 4. Let's think of it. Quadrant pattern, if I take minus pi by 4 means minus 45 degree. Pi by 4 is 45 degree. Theta belongs to this range. Now in this range we see the quadrants which are covered. Main thing is quadrant. Here this portion is of fourth quadrant and remaining portion is of first quadrant. We know that cos theta is positive in both of the portions, fourth and first. So that's why in this condition we have to open this with plus sign, and the result can be written as root 2 cos theta. Be careful. Not only this, whenever such identities are given with the square root, then before you eliminate this square, see the condition properly. More we will be discussing questions. Okay. By the way, I was talking about the identity. So it is 1 plus cos 2 theta and 1 plus cos theta. If I take 1 minus cos theta, first 2 theta, so this will be 2 sin square theta, and 1 minus cos only theta if I take, this will become 2 sin square theta by 2. Moreover, if I am having 1 minus tan theta upon 1 plus tan theta, we know that value of tan 45 pi by 4, tan pi by 4 is 1. So that's why this can be written as tan pi by 4 minus tan theta upon 1 plus tan pi by 4 into tan theta. Writing this tan pi by 4 here, this will not affect as it is 1. So it becomes like tan A minus tan B upon 1 plus tan A tan B. So this can be concluded as tan pi by 4 minus theta identity. And it's converse, I take reciprocal. So in reciprocal, if I take 1 plus tan upon 1 minus tan, I will have obviously tan pi by 4 plus theta. These identities are used directly. One more pattern is left to see. If we are having cos theta upon 1 minus sin theta, this is not an identity, this is trigonometric expression. Whenever given how to simplify this expression, I see that frequently such pattern is used. This is a rational form, we will see. This is cos theta. Here we know that cos 2 theta can be written as cos square theta minus sin square theta. So obviously cos theta can be written as cos square theta by 2 minus sin square theta by 2. Cos square theta by 2 minus sin square theta by 2. In denominator 1 minus sin theta is given. So 1 minus sin theta will be taken from this pattern. Here we know that this is 1 minus sin theta. So sin theta by 2 minus cos theta by 2 whole square. Or as this is whole square, so I can reverse the order. I can write this as cos theta by 2 minus sin theta by 2 whole square. As no condition is given, that's why whenever condition is not so, we can write directly. And in square that doesn't matter if we reverse the order. But how this will help us? Above we are having a square minus b square. So this can be opened as cos theta by 2 minus sin theta by 2 by identity a plus b, a minus b. Next will be cos theta by 2 plus sin theta by 2. And in denominator this remains as it is cos theta by 2 minus sin theta by 2 whole square. Now you can see this first bracket is similar to the denominator. These two can be cancelled out. We are left with cos theta by 2 plus sin theta by 2 upon cos theta by 2 minus sin theta by 2. So whenever you are having a rational form, cos plus sin upon cos minus sin or cos minus sin upon cos plus sin, then only one thing you must do, divide numerator and denominator each by cos. See, different patterns are there to solve, but these frequently occur in equations, and this is in my opinion the best way to avoid mistakes. Rest depends on your choice. If you want to apply some other methods, it is perfect, you can do. Okay, now if I divide numerator denominator each by cos, so this will become cos theta by 2 divided by cos theta by 2 itself. This will make it 1. But sin upon cos will become tan. So we will have 1 plus tan theta by 2 upon 1 minus tan theta by 2. Now if you compare this to the previous identity, this one, this can directly be written as tan pi by 4 plus theta by 2. Now this way I have explained you how to interrelate the identities, okay, and use them directly in equations. These are few which are frequently used. We will take questions on them to see the application. Let's start. For first example, I have taken tan inverse sec x plus tan x. We need to evaluate how can we do that. I see here we are given sec 10 in bracket, tan inverse is outside. Whenever such an expression is given, we do our best to avail one tan in continuation so that tan inverse and tan can be eliminated by law of cancellation. But for that we need to apply some identities of trigonometry. How can we do? Students are friendly with sine and cos, so obviously convert this in cos and sine, writing 1 upon cos x. This as sine upon cos, and we get as the sum tan inverse 1 plus sine x upon cos x. Now this type of expression we have recently seen in pattern of identities. Either you can rationalize this by the multiplication of 1 minus sine x in numerator and denominator, but things will remain as it is. Finally you have to do the same what I have spoken. Here the term of cos will be written by cos theta identities. Cos theta can be written as cos square theta by 2 minus sine square theta by 2, and 1 plus sine x, using the identities, the 1 plus sine theta will be written as cos theta by 2 plus sine theta by 2 whole square. This directly you can put. So we will write here tan inverse cos theta by 2 plus sine theta by 2 as sorry, this is x here, so we need to write x whole square in denominator. This is cos square x by 2 minus sine square x by 2 plus. Now we know that a square minus b square will cancel this out. So obviously we have tan inverse cos x by 2 plus sin x by 2, one time cancel, and below we are left with minus sign between, plus 1 we have cancelled out, okay, with this one. Now as I said, whenever you are having the addition subtraction term of cos and sine, then divide numerator denominator by cos. So we find here tan inverse dividing by cos, I find 1 plus tan x by 2 upon 1 minus tan x by 2. So finally this is the identity. Recently we have seen that it is tan pi by 4 plus x by 2. And yes, since this expression is given without condition, no condition is assigned to us, that's why we will consider this to be in the principal domain and can be cancelled out. Finally we are left with pi by 4 plus x by 2. Now next example we will take of such a question in which we are assigned one condition. So according to condition, how to simplify, let's see. Here in this question we are given one condition for x. X is the angle here, lying between minus pi by 2 and pi by 2. Pattern of same, you can see a cos upon 1 minus sine. So we will apply the same first. We will try to avail one tan inside, tan function. Here this can be written as cos square x by 2 minus sine square x by 2 by the condition and properties. This can be written as cos x by 2 minus sine x by 2 whole square. After cancellation, applying a by a plus b, a minus b in numerator, we get that minus term will be cancelled out and we are left with cos x by 2 plus sin x by 2 upon cos x by 2 minus sin x by 2. Don't forget the condition. At last we have to take so. Yes. Now after this expression, we divide numerator and denominator by cos x by 2 and we find tan inverse as 1 plus tan x by 2 upon 1 minus tan x by 2. As soon as I do, the identity applicable will be tan inverse tan pi by 4 plus x by 2. Now before we cancel this law of cancellation, we need to see that bracket in bracket the angle which has been taken, whether this belongs to the principal domain or not, And don't forget, it is the case of tan inverse. That's why principal domain required is minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. Okay, we will start with the condition. Since x lies between these two values, we start from the rightmost side. We do not need x, we need x by 2. Okay, so in first step, divide each term by 2. We get minus pi by 4 is less than x by 2 is less than pi by 4. Next, as it is given, we need to add pi by 4 in each term. So add pi by 4 every time. Pi by 4 minus pi by 4, pi by 4 plus x by 2 less than pi by 4 plus pi by 4. Here we get 0. Here we are having the angle required is less than some 45, 45, 90. So this angle lies between 0 to 90, that is first quadrant, and yes, our requirement minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. So this angle lies in first quadrant somewhere. So this can be cancelled out by the law of cancellation, and we are having after cancellation pi by 4 plus x by 2 as the result. This way we can simplify. More questions we are taking. Next. Example 3 we have taken a bit bigger. Can look complicated, no problem, we will think of it. Prove that this whole is equal to x upon 2 after simplifying. Condition also is given x lies between 0 and pi by 2. Take care, these two are strict inequalities. Be careful, no equal sign is given. What we can do? See, there are different methods. As recently I said, you can replace 1 plus sine by cos x by 2 plus sine x by 2 whole square. This can be replaced by cos x by 2 minus sine x by 2 whole square. Okay, and thereafter you can start the procedure. But the other method which I have experienced students generally apply is the rationalization. We are going to rationalize the denominator or numerator. Anything can be done. Here, if I write LHS, then I see that we will rationalize denominator, as in general is done by students. So we need to multiply both of the numerator and denominator by numerator itself. The pattern is of square root, that's why rationalization works here. So if I do, I find cot inverse. In numerator I am having the square of 1 plus root 1 plus sin x plus root 1 minus sin x. And in the denominator, I will be having, as we are rationalizing, is multiplying numerator denominator by this addition part. Okay, so below we have 1 plus sin x minus 1 minus sin x under root, and in multiplication root 1 plus sin x plus root 1 minus sin x. This one. Here we can apply a plus b whole square. A square means square on root 1 plus sin x, so remaining 1 plus sin x. B square means 1 minus sin x as it is, plus 2ab means 2 into root 1 plus sin x, root 1 minus sin x. Okay. In denominator, a plus b, a minus b means square on first term, so 1 plus sin x minus square on second term, 1 minus sin x. I see these two cancelled out. Cot inverse 1 plus 1 2 plus 2. You see that these two are square root terms. So they will be multiplied inside 1 plus sin x, 1 minus sin x. So by multiplication that will become a plus b, a minus b means 1 minus sin square x. And in denominator we have, when we open this bracket, so 1 and 1 cancel out, we are left with 2 sin x. And yes, for sure, 2 can be taken out in numerator, and after cancellation we have 1 plus this root 1 minus sin square x. 1 minus sin square x is identity, which is directly we write cos square x. So it is square root cos square x upon sin x. Now we have to be alert as condition is given. Condition is given. This condition, this is assigned to us. It is given, that's why we cannot directly write root cos square x as cos x only. So we have to see the condition first. As x lies between 0 and pi by 2. 0 and pi by 2 means first quadrant. So in first quadrant it is cos x. So the first quadrant cos is positive. So that's why eliminating this square root and square, we have cot inverse 1 plus cos x upon sin x. Otherwise, suppose it is some other interval, so we would have written here negative. Okay, other than first, like second or third, so we have to write here negative cos x. By the way, this expression is not new to you now. We have seen earlier equations, so we will again do the same thing, 1 plus cos x upon sin x. Same thing what we have done earlier. LHS continues, we have cot inverse 1 plus cos x will be written as 2 cos square x by 2. We have seen identities. Okay. And sin x by the identity of sin 2 theta, this can be written as 2 sin x by 2 cos x by 2. This is the case when we get 1 plus cos x upon sin x. Okay. And recently in this lecture, in the beginning I have explained identities. This part I have not taken. Okay. So here with the help of this equation only you can get 1 plus cos x. We can apply 2 cos square x by 2, and sin 2 theta if I apply sin x will be 2 sin x by 2 cos x by 2. So cos x by 2 square cancelled out. Now we are left with cot inverse cos upon sin cot x by 2. As soon as I find cot inverse cot x by 2, my purpose is going to be over. I can cancel by law of cancellation, but again the same thing. X by 2 whether belongs to the principal domain in the group of cot we require between 0 and pi, 0 and 180 degree. We will see. Since x lies between 0 and pi by 2, I need to check for x by 2. I will divide each by 2. So I will see 0 by 2 is 0, x by 2 is, this is pi by 4. So 0 to pi by 4, again this remains in first quadrant only. We can cancel this out and finally we have x by 2 proved. So I hope that this part is understood. This is to use trigonometric identities in different forms to simplify inverse trigonometric patterns. Thank you.